What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Well, guess what? You all fucking pushed me over the edge. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna be talking about the most sacred of topics on this channel, and that is balding. Yes, this is a comment. This is one of my most frequent comments that I get on this goddamn channel. You guys are always finding ways to drop little hints, either indirect or direct, on my channel about the fact that I am balding. And you know what the funny thing is? You're all like, why don't you just shave it off, Evildea? You'll look so much better. Well, I can't, because my wife has got some weird-ass monk kink going on, where she's like, no, I love it how it is. I love that it's bald in the middle, and it's like inverse pear-shaped out the sides with all the curls. I fucking love that shit. And I actually get into active battles with her over the fact that I just want to freaking trim it. Like, I get like one license a year. You know, every 6 months I can cut it, okay? When at the point where, you know, my work colleagues start questioning if I'm homeless at this point, that's when I can finally cut it. But before that, she's like, leave it alone, it looks really good. So if you ever decide to marry an Asian woman, just be prepared that they may have some weird ass kinks, okay? Now, it's not just her. You guys, you just love talking about this in the comment section. Check this shit out. This white bald man be talking like a broken heart Latin teen that just reincarnated and is hating on everybody. Now, the great thing about this comment is it could be directed at me or the person I was reviewing that video because they were bald. So this, or it could be both of us, you know, doesn't matter. Could be anyone who's bald. You all just cop that one, okay? Then we got this one here. Also, have you tried red light therapy cap for thinning hair? Stanford Uni says it's pretty effective. Your wife might approve. Nope, she won't. She loves it how it is. You look very similar to my ex. Eye color, shape, face shape, and body type, but he's not a bald. Cheers. Why don't you alpha mog Mikkel by shaving your head bald? Funny balding Australian guy. I subscribed for Elmo and I stayed for the balding hairline. I'm waiting for Elmo to start balding. So as you guys can see, this is definitely a topic that you love to discuss, and therefore this is a topic that we're going to review in depth today. Now, I'm going to tell you what the funniest thing about going balding over time is. It's the fact that it's almost like you can measure the age of the balding itself. You know how when you get a tree and you cut that little fucker in half and you see the rings inside the tree and you can like age out the tree, you know, this is what happened during this season, this is what happened during that season. It's the same thing with a balding hairline. Like right here, okay, it's all dark down here, but as you move up, you see like there's this like nice dark patch here, because this represents, you know, my time when I was probably in the military. And then it started to rapidly like pull backwards type of thing. And it's like tree rings. You can measure it and you can see the changes in the seasonal sunlight and stuff that I got. And at this point here, where it's like completely like baby skinned, that's when I became a programmer, okay? So you can see these were my hard years, these were my programmer years, and that's where it's gone since then. And I'm sure we'll see lots more rings to come up in the future. So because this is a topic that we all love and we all want to discuss, we're going to be doing a react to a video which happened to be dropped by one of my favorite YouTubers literally, I think like a few days ago or something, but it's called She Doesn't Believe Balding is Real, and this is from Penguin Z. So let's see what he's got to say on this topic, because this is a man who does not suffer from this, and he truly does not understand the plight of the bald man, or the man who's balding. You know, being halfway between is, it's just the worst of both worlds, okay? But anyway, we're going to see what he's got to say. I've got him on 1.25 speed. I know you guys got me on 1.5 speed, so everyone's going to sound like chipmunks. Let's begin.
Like a big fiery debate, or if I just got thrust into like a very tiny pocket of hostility, but there is right now a raging battle of people debating whether or not balding is real. Kind of. That's the statement that started it. That was like the shot heard around the world for this topic.
I don't believe in male balding.
Why?
First of all, if you're a male and you want to go bald, that's fine. Like, good for you. However, if you're a male and you don't want to go bald and you're balding anyway, that's where I take issue.
I love her confidence with this, okay? It's like, if you want to go bald, that's fine. I accept that. But if you don't want to go bald and you end up going bald, bitch, that be on you. It's just, I guess it's like one of those things where you just say the most ridiculous thing ever and you know you're just going to go viral for that shit. I got to think up something stupid to just say, like, you know, I don't believe there's men on the internet, you know, something stupid and just ridiculous.
Opening line right there, I don't believe in male balding, actually reached through the fucking phone screen and tickled me. I was smiling. It goes so hard. I don't believe in male balding. Shit is...
You know what? I love Penguin Z. I love his videos in general because they're just random and shit. But I don't think he can talk as a representative of the balding community. This almost feels like cultural appropriation at this rate. Penguin, what are you doing, my man? You do not represent us. You do not understand the pain and suffering that we go through, okay? Please just, you gotta be careful with your words, my man. Don't offend me.
A myth. It's like a cryptid, almost. I've never seen a bald man. No such thing. That's a goddamn lie. That's a deep state hoax right there. That's like 5G. I don't know. I love that. It just slaps. It's not exactly what she's saying, but it's how she lays the foundation. The point she's making is that she believes that balding is a solved problem, and if there's anyone who is bald without wanting to be bald, it's due to their laziness. It's fundamentally what she's getting at. She's saying, like, if you're bald and you choose to be bald, yippee, good for you, she says. But if you're...
Okay, I did not know balding was a solved problem. If it was a solved problem, then why the hell are, like, the princes and shit in the UK, they're balding? Okay, they got the money to sort out that problem, or maybe they realistically don't care. It's kind of like in line with my own thinking.
Balding and you don't want to be balding, well, you're just lazy.
Because women in this day and age have to do so much to upkeep their looks, and men cannot be bothered to just put some cream on their head, or take a little vitamin, or get a hair transplant even. Women are doing more than...
Take a little vitamin, solve your hair problems.
that.
So her point is, compared to female beauty standards, men balding is a significantly easier issue to tackle. You can really grab that one by the fucking nipples and solve it with creams and pills and hair transplants. And if you are balding and don't want to be, well, you're just a gluttonous sloth who's too lazy to fix this problem.
Come on, there's nothing wrong with being a gluttonous sloth, okay? I go through periods. I wouldn't really call them periods at this point in time. I would say that's my standard, lifestyle at the moment, gluttonous sloth.
And that's kind of the gist of it. I don't think she's super knowledgeable on how expensive, hair transplants are. They are not cheap, especially in today's day and age. Also, being put on medication, also not super cheap. So, yeah, you can get, the finasteride, the minoxidil, and, the combo there, get it with the fucking two-piece, and...
Bro, Penguin Z, he's taking this personally. He's getting in there with the knife. He's like, bitch, you do not hurt my balding clientele. I'm guessing, the vast majority of people that watch Penguin Z are probably balding white guys, okay? So he's out there on the defense on their behalf. So I do appreciate this. I don't have to say anything. Everything he's saying is true. That shit's, fucking dangerous and stuff. You know what the funny thing is? I actually had a boss who, he's not at the current place where I work, but previously I had a boss who was trying to rope me in to going to Turkey to get a hair transplant with him because he was too much of a bitch to go there and do it by himself. And I was like, bro, I don't care about this. Realistically, if I was getting a hair transplant, I'm not going to go to Turkey. I'm going to go to China and get Chinese hair. And then he explained to me that they don't just give you other people's hair and put it on your head. They take your own hair. And then I was really upset because I was like, oh, man, I wanted Chinese hair. And he was looking at me all confused when I was explaining this, and he's like, what do you think, they just someone just sacrifices their hair and gives it to you? And I was like, well, there's lots of poor people. I'm assuming someone would just sell their hair, Why would you take mine? Is this gonna disappear again? I'll get shit hair.
From everything I understand about it, it seems to work to some degree. It varies person to person, obviously, because not everyone's just a fucking clone, so it doesn't work for everybody, but it does work a little bit for some people, and for others, more so. But it's never, the cure to baldness, as I understand it. There's not, a magic pill. There's no, Phoenix down for your hair. You can't, chug your way to a full head of hair again. It is tough, and it is very expensive. And she's saying women do significantly more than this, but men can't even be bothered to do the bare minimum of stopping the balding with these pills, creams, and...
How about we just all accept ourselves for the ugly fucks that we are? If you're going bald, just accept it.
Hair transplants. Again, there's not exactly, it's not Courage the Cowardly Dog where Eustace gets that handful of shit and can rub it on his head to fix the baldness, which ultimately led to other problems. Again, a lot of the medication does have, side effects and stuff, too. It's not exactly the easiest thing. And I recognize that for women, there are a lot of things they go through for the sake of, the beauty standards that are put upon them that are also very difficult. But I don't think those should be celebrated.
Here's the great thing, okay? All these, beauty standards and stuff, this shit goes straight out the window as soon as you're married. Okay, as soon as you're married and you spend a little bit of time with your partner, that stuff, they don't do that stuff anymore for you, okay? They may do it for work and stuff, but for you, you get the PJs that have been worn for a week straight, the messed up hair, the friggin' everything, okay? Beauty stands out the window once you're married. So if you're not married, just understand that these things last for as long as you're dating.
either. I don't think there's anything good from putting this pressure on women or men to adhere to the beauty standards that people think they should.
More stigma for guys to do beauty products.
There's more stigma. Oh, I thought he said sigma. I was so confused. For guys who do beauty products. Okay, well, let's not normalize guys doing beauty products, please. I really don't want to have to do that shit.
And that includes like hairline stuff. Guys are like more generally insecure about doing stuff like that because they're not really supposed to. Beauty products, we were sold that that's a girl's thing, not a guy's thing.
I don't know how much of an excuse that is. There's not as much pressure on men in society as there is on women to upkeep their looks. And they just kind of get resigned to the fact that they're going bald. Versus if you ask any single woman something that's happening to their looks that they don't like, they will go ahead and fix it. Whether
Yeah, but these types of like pressures. I'm getting into this. This is getting too serious. But basically, it ain't men putting the pressure on women. It's women putting pressure on themselves and on other women. Let's be realistic about that, okay? Like, so many times my wife will be like, come up and she'll be like this when she does do something. And she's like, what do you think? And I'll be like, about what? And she's like, you don't see it? Oh, I did my eyebrows. And I was like, fuck, no, they look exactly the same. And she's like, what do you mean they look exactly the same? I spent hundreds of dollars on this. And I'll be like, you did fucking what, woman?
it's like an at-home DIY solution to like professional, super expensive treatments.
Now in the comment section, everybody was dunking on the guy here, saying that he was mansplaining and not listening, and that he's like not even engaging in the conversation, and everyone is on her side about how she's, you know, out here spitting and shitting the truth. Like, these are all facts that she is speaking.
For real? I must be from a different generation to the comment section of that video, because I'd be like, bitch, I don't care. If I go bald, that's just the way God fated it. I ain't even religious.
About baldness not being real and easily solvable. I don't think he did anything wrong. He's right. There is a stigma around men using like toupees or wigs, because then it's kind of like, I'm 5'6", right? A lot of people joke.
There's a lot of self-conscious shit coming out in this video. This is almost like I'm in a therapy session.
Around like, just go get height surgery. Well, the people that get height surgery are constantly fucking clowned on. They get dunked on more than me at 5'6" when I play pickup basketball. Like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I get made fun of all the time for being short. It is what it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you gotta play with the hand you're dealt. My dad is 6'5". Man stole all the height genes from our lineage and then kicked the last.
You know, the funny thing is I've got the same problem in my family. But I don't think it's about me getting bad genes. I think it's just about the fact when I grew up, basically we just weren't fed very much. Yeah, that was kind of a thing. Parents were just like, we'll have one meal for the kids, and we'll split it between all three, and then we'll let them fight. It'll be like the birds. We'll raise them native, you know, in the tree type of thing. And if one falls out of the nest and dies, well, then we know which one was the weak one. The problem was none of us ever fell out of the nest and died, although we got close.
They're out from under him. Can't do shit about it. I gotta live with it. So, like, I can stay 5'6", and I'm comfortable with it. I make jokes about it, but at the end of the day, I can't fucking change it without going and getting, like, life-changing surgery that'll have me debilitated for, like, 2 fucking years as my bones reform in my shins. I'm not going to do that. But if I did, I would be insulted for being so insecure about my height that I went through those extreme lengths to change it. And it's the same thing for bald men. You'll see this a lot, where, like, a bald guy will put on a toupee, and it's not, like, the most optimal one. It's pretty clear he's wearing a toupee. People will make fun of him for being so insecure with that. And it's the same thing with other...
You know, I'm actually tempted now to go get one of those things. Like, I was talking with one of my mates. He randomly sent me this, okay? Okay, so my mate sent me this literally yesterday. And he's like, would you do this? Now, if you guys are unaware what's happening there, they're like shaving off all the center, and then they get one of those toupees, and they like glue it onto the top of his head. And I'll be honest, okay, he goes from like a 50-year-old to a 25-year-old after that shit. So I'm just tempted to check that out, but I'd probably get something crazy, maybe like a punk style down the middle or something, but it would have to be something that would not get me fired.
Male beauty products that you'll see. There is a stigma around it. I don't know why she's pretending that doesn't exist. That's a very common and like really socially acceptable thing to make fun of a guy for if he's trying to like fix baldness or something and it's not like perfect, you know what I mean? And while I agree with her that the standards for women are higher,
you know, I'm a capitalist, okay? So every time I, like, think about these things, I'm like, how can I make some money off of this? Maybe I should, like, set up a Patreon objective or something where people can, you know, donate towards me wearing a toupee or something.
Than that of men. It's not like it doesn't exist for men. As I mentioned, I'm 5'6". There are innumerable women that want nothing to do romantically with a guy my size. You know, petite, fun-sized men like me. And that's okay. Like, it is what...
You know... When this type of conversation used to happen when I was dating, because I'm, 175, so I'm like average, okay? Whenever a tall woman would say something like, you're short, and I'll be like, that's okay, I like climbing trees.
It is. Like, I understand that. Like, but the point is, there is a pressure on men, at least to some degree, to a lesser degree than women, but it is there. And what she's reinforcing here is the idea that men have to continuously adhere to an ever-increasing pressure on beauty standards, which is very similar to what women have gone through for a long time. And I think both of these things here are not good. Like, it's not something to encourage and, like, pump your fist about as, like, a...
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's just get rid of all these ridiculous beauty standards. Let's just go back to, I just want to look at you and go, okay, genetically, that's what my kids are going to look like. Okay? Not like, oh, that one looks good, and then, 5 minutes later, they take it off, and it's like, oh my god, that's a different human! Like, I want the original, I'm a fan of the original flavor, I don't need the salt and vinegar.
Celebratory thing. I think it's a bad direction. So the guy's not saying anything wrong here. I don't know why he's getting spit on so much in the comment section. He's just saying, like, hey, there's like a stigma that exists around it, so not every guy's going to be all gung-ho and like enthusiastic about going and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on creams and pills that aren't super...
Okay, I need to interrupt here. I need to know, okay, is this something in America? Is like guys doing this stuff a lot? Like, or how should I word this? Because like I grew up the generation where the guy, he just looked like shit. And it was just like, yeah, that's the guy, like he'll wear whatever he's given, he'll go work in the mud, get dirty and shit, like I was considered clean because I shaved, that's literally it. In fact, I'd probably start shaving and grow a beard if my wife, again, actually liked a beard. Because here's the funny thing, okay, in Asian culture, they ain't no fans of beards. They like the baby face. In fact, they like the really feminine looking men.
Efficacious, as well as spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a potential hair transplant that might not work super well or might not look all that great. Like, it's tricky, and it's a tough situation to be in. And to her point about female beauty standards and how much women go through to uphold, like, the female beauty standards that have been put on them for so many years now, she's not wrong in that perspective. But I don't know why it has to be a battle. I don't know why she needs to now start shaming men for not conforming to male beauty standards that are being put upon them.
Well, I think this is actually a bigger issue of society overall, where people want to cause battles between different groups. It doesn't matter what the group is, as long as the group can be defined, like men versus women and women versus men. You see these videos so much online. You'll see like men just shitting on women in general. And it's like, bro, not every woman is the same. Or women shitting on men. And it's like, not all men are the same, And it's not just that. You'll see it between races. You'll see it between classes of people. You'll see it between everything, where people just need someone to hate on.
Like, yes, there are significantly more for women, but it's not like men are just allowed to be slobs forever. In fact, I don't know how many of you remember this, Don Tolliver just took a picture had his picture taken with his girlfriend once, and the entire internet was insulting him for like 3 full days about how ugly he is and how shameful it is for her to be with him.
That's just the internet being an asshole. I wouldn't care.
And Don Tolliver, I don't even think is like a really unattractive looking guy. Like, there is still a pressure on men to look good, because they will also be insulted. That is the way the entire culture of, like, beauty has shifted, where everyone is expected to uphold, like, crazy standards, right?
And, this actually is why, in some videos, I will come on this channel with my fucking belly just hanging out and shit, and, like, half a grown beard and hair all messed up and stuff, because I don't want us to live in a society where we're all, like, having to groom ourselves to a perfection level and layering on the makeup and all this type of stuff just to look pretty for others, when realistically there's no need. Like, I have no need. I'm not trying to attract further mates. I have my partner. I'm good enough for her. She's good enough for me. So, like, that's great. Like, I will obviously keep myself clean enough to go to work because I don't want to stink out my colleagues or something. But beyond that, who cares? Like, why do I need to look amazing? Like, I'm not a model.
Now, of course, I do think it is still more for women, but it's not like it's non-existent for men. And I don't think balding is some kind of fabrication, some kind of made-up concept, and that it's an easily solvable problem. It's not. And I also think that it's very...
But by the way, I will add on that, okay, that humans, we're animals, okay? And obviously, we visualize our potential partners, and we make judgment calls based on that before we move into a more deeper relationship. So obviously, during the mating process, okay, finding a partner and all that, you want to ruffle up your feathers and make yourself look as attractive to the opposite sex as you can. Men ruffle up their feathers in certain ways, and women do theirs in their way, and then once you've built your nest and you delivered your goods and everything and you've made a decision, and it's just like with all animals out there, once they're together, it's like, well, I ain't gotta do the feathers no more, bitch. This is what you get.
Hypocritical of her to take the stance that bald men are lazy by not going through all of these procedures to try and fix it, because women will go through tons of procedures for things they don't like. So like BBL or something, or a boob job. But I would also argue that men that are trying to...
I have no idea what a BBL is. BBL, big black licorice? Lobotomy? Big brown... What could it be? Yeah, I have no idea.
Tell women that they need to fix their flat ass, or like small titties aren't real, you're just lazy, are equally in the wrong for having that perspective. Like if this video was completely flipped and it was some frat bro sitting there going like, yeah bro, I actually don't believe in A cups. Like honkers of that size I think are...
He's right, that would get trashed online.
Just like actually made up, make believe. Like just go get a boob job, like go take some biotin or something.
But the funny thing is, you've got videos of guys doing that shit now. Like, you do have both sides doing this. That's the fucked up thing about this.
Like, I'd equally be clowning on him for that perspective, too. Like, enforcing those kind of beauty standards and insulting people that don't, like, conform to it, I think is a bad thing. Like, for women and for men.
Girls have a lot of pressure to be valued based off their beauty, and guys have a lot of pressure to be valued more on how useful they are. And so guys kind of have an excuse. Like, Jeff Bezos does not have to have hair if he doesn't want to, because he has all the money in the world.
I know what you mean, but like, I wouldn't want to be with Jeff Bezos. He's old.
What advice do you have for people that are dating?
If they're wearing a hat, it might mean they're balding and self-conscious about it. So I would press and see if they're doing anything about that.
If they're wearing a hat. Okay, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, because I know you guys are going to be like, Evildea, you've been wearing this hood the whole time because it hides it all, or you're wearing the cap. No, the reason being is because I cut my hair every 6 to 8 months. And when it gets really long, I know you guys are going to go off in the comment section about it constantly. So I'm just like, I'll just cover it. It's just easier to deal with that shit than have you guys... Actually, you know what? For engagement purposes, I should just leave it off, eh? Because then you guys can just constantly critique it. They'll give me comments and up me in the algorithm. Yeah, why would I even do that? Maybe I am actually scared of it. Maybe I am self-conscious. Oh, shit.
Love that signing off advice from her right there. If you're with a guy who's wearing a hat, this is a clear indicator that there might be some balding under there that he's very self-conscious about, so poke the fuck out of it. Make sure to interrogate, and if necessary, rip that hat right off and reveal the magician's secret underneath. There could be a chrome dome, and then you need to ask, well, what's he doing about it? I don't know, to me that just really rubs me the wrong way, because again, if you flip this, let's say it's a guy saying like, if you're with a girl who's wearing baggy pants, it might be a clear indicator of a not being super cheeked up, there might not be enough cake under there. So make sure to like press her on it. Like, what's she doing about that? Are you hitting squats?
Sorry, I was just visualizing Penguinsy just ripping down her pants and going, what is this? Your ass is not big enough, woman.
Are you getting a BBL anytime soon? Like, what's the regimen to fix that?
Okay, so BBL's related to the ass. Big butt lift. Oh, a big butt lift. Of course. Why was I thinking big black licorice?
That's just as bad. Like, I think this whole idea of these beauty standards being forced upon women and men are just getting even more out of control in the current climate, and it's just a complete race to the bottom. I'm very surprised to see how much support there was behind her statements, because I find it to be kind of hypocritical, but again, this is a debate that I don't know how big the topic is. I just find it very odd now, where she's coming out here and, like, shaming dudes for being insecure about balding, but then not fixing it. Like, there are so many extenuating factors that could play into that for why they can't fix it. Like, maybe they have tried...
Realistically, this is so serious. I thought this would be more of like a funny video, but Charlie's just going to like war here. Okay, I would see, like, if someone said to me, like, in all seriousness, and was like, why aren't you trying to fix that? I'd be like, bro, suck on these ones. I don't care. Like, that's such a weird thing to like take seriously. Like, if someone's actually throwing that at you.
All the creams, maybe they spent tons and tons of money trying to combat this problem to no avail. Like, there are so many things to take into account. If you want to do things to your body that make you happier and more comfortable, then go right ahead. But to do it because other people think that it's expected of you, I think is horrible. Like, some people that are, like, feeling pressure to get a buccal fat removal procedure or some shit like...
Obviously, there's certain things you have to do to your body, even if you don't want to, if you're working, like, a corporate job, okay? Like, when you rock up to a corporate job, there is certain expectations, i.e., you know, you're clean, you don't smell, you know, you have some form of, like, your face being clean and your hair cut and shit and stuff like that. You can't just rock up like a complete fucking homeless guy. You will eventually lose that job. So there is a societal expectations.
That because that's like the beauty trend. It's just not good. And it does exist for men too, to a lesser degree. I agree with her that women have definitely had more pressure on them when it comes to the beauty standard, but it's not like it is, non-existent when it comes to men as well. As evident by this take here that has a lot of support about how, like, men who are bald are just lazy, they gotta fix it. If they're self-conscious about baldness and doing nothing about it, they're lazy. In fact, rip their hat off to double check to make sure they're not bald and insecure. And, it's just... I don't love that. And I was pretty surprised that this debate was so split. Well, not even split. Most people were on her side with the take.
I cannot believe people would actually fall on her side over that. Bro, that must be a generational thing. Do people... Maybe I'm like the last of a generation of people who just don't care. And maybe like all men nowadays are like super self-conscious about how they visually look and shit. That would probably explain why there's like this sudden like surge in these, alpha males and shit who are trying to present like this amazing image of themselves. Maybe that explains why I've seen that happening. But yeah, like, this is definitely a different generation to me.
It was just surprising as all. Anyway, I've been yapping about this for a while, when really it might just be a full-blown nothing burger of a topic where I got roped into, like, the fucking gravitational pull of the debate, like the...
Okay, well, I got roped into it as well, so if you guys have enjoyed this So if you guys have enjoyed this... I don't know what this was. What was this? This was me recovering from 2 days off on this channel. I went down a dark hole, my boys. No, realistically, let's see how many people hang around to the end while I was away for 2 days. It's because I was